In this video, I'm going to answer the question, how do you build a culture of leadership development in your organization? Hi, I'm Jenny Vazquez-Newsum, a leadership facilitator amplifying the expertise of leaders of color and the CEO of Untapped Leaders. This is my YouTube series, Untapped Leadership, where I discuss leadership with the nuance and niche of uncovering what is often overlooked from the perspective of racially marginalized leaders. If you like this topic, please do hit the subscribe button. And so let's get into today's conversation. How do you build a culture of leadership development in your organization? So leadership development is a critical aspect of any organization's success. As the business landscape continues to evolve and we continue to navigate uncertainty, it is essential to develop a culture that supports leadership development in order to navigate and to respond to those realities. Building that culture of leadership development requires commitment, planning, and a structured approach. It's not willy-nilly. We don't just make things up. And so in this conversation, I want to discuss the key strategies for building a culture of leadership development within your organization. So first, you want to define the what of your leadership development strategy. What are you trying to accomplish when building a culture of leadership development in your company? Your strategy should outline your goals and objectives for leadership development, the skills and competencies you want your teams to develop at different levels, and the target audiences for the programs or initiatives that you want to institute. Whether you're utilizing internal resources via learning and development team, or you're outsourcing the work to a leadership development organization. Either way, your strategy should include a plan for how you ensure and measure the success of the leadership development initiatives you are investing in, and really thinking about and defining that impact. And so defining the strategy will help you ensure that you're focused on the right priorities and that your leadership development efforts are actually aligning with the organization's goals and objectives. The second part of this is establishing the how of your leadership development initiatives. How will you achieve the outcomes that your strategy has identified? So establishing a leadership development program or initiative is a critical step in building a culture of leadership development. You should think about ways that you can design experiences and learning to develop the skills and competencies outlined in the leadership development strategy that you've identified. You should consider a range of developmental opportunities such as coaching or mentoring or job rotations or formal training so that leadership development can be embedded through varied avenues and at multiple levels. It should be happening at all different ways. A comprehensive program will help ensure that your leaders have the skills and knowledge they need to succeed in their roles and help the organization thrive. Another aspect of this that you should consider is how you communicate the importance of leadership development. The team members should understand the value of leadership development and the impact it can have on the organization's success as well as on their own success. And so the most essential way to communicate the importance of leadership development in your culture of the organization is to ensure that there's appropriate time and space and resources that are given to those efforts. All too often, I've witnessed organizations say leadership development is important, and yet the scope of responsibilities and the magnitude of urgent and competing work ultimately takes away from someone's ability to fully engage in the development work. So ultimately, what does that communicate? It basically says that it's not important. So be thorough in allowing the adequate room for leadership development to happen. And you'll notice how essential that becomes in cultivating a culture of development within your organization and communicating the importance of that work. Another aspect to consider is encouraging how you can create collaboration and knowledge sharing through this process. You want to encourage, folks that are going through leadership development to share with their peers, to share the opportunities and the learning that they've gained through that process. In a past role, when I directed an office at a higher ed institution, I started the practice of creating in-services where staff members who attended a conference or were participating in a leadership development program would actually bring that knowledge and that content back to our full team and facilitate and lead sessions so that everyone gained from that learning. So that not only developed the leadership of that staff member, but also developed the leadership of the full team, and it really kind of created this space for collaboration that allowed everyone to learn from each other. And that is what builds this culture of leadership development. Another aspect to consider here is to foster a growth mindset within team members and within a space, to create this mindset, knowing that everything is possible, that we can learn how to develop as leaders. It's doable. It's not, no one is born with any traits that make them a leader. It is all able to be developed. And really thinking about fostering this culture of growth mindset within your teams allows them to take more risks, to innovate, to create creative solutions to challenges, and really explore their leadership in these ways that are to a benefit to our organization. And the last piece that I would consider is really thinking about how you're evaluating the initiatives that you're instituting in your leadership development culture. What's working? What's not? Who has access? Who doesn't? Why is that? I'm really kind of thinking about the impact that's being shown through the investments you're making in creating this leadership development culture. You want to make sure that you are being purposeful and committed to this work, and that's how culture becomes embedded. And so really kind of thinking about how you build leadership development throughout different levels of the organization and throughout different moments is an important part to actually making it part of the culture. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you liked it, go ahead and press that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if there's anything else that you'd like me to tackle in these conversations, please add it to the comments. But thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.